I'm connected to each and every one of you, one way or another, either as an adult or as a scout. I had no idea this was going to be this long an event, 40 years. I figured from my youngest to my oldest was about a 15-year spread, and I didn't know if it would run that long. And I had no inspiration for being a scoutmaster because we had a terrific scoutmaster. Jerry Matthews was a wonderful guy. He was very much in touch with all the boys. He could sing and play the guitar around the campfire. He was kind of a do-it-all guy. And his son eventually lost interest and had gone about as far as he was going to go and said, "Dad, I'm ready to leave. I'm done with scouting." So Jerry came in one night and said, "Okay, you got it," and walked out the door. And I had no idea what I was doing. And, from that day to this day, the boys have taught me how to be a scoutmaster. I learned so much from them. And I wasn't that overly awed with being the scoutmaster. It was a nice position, but also had a lot of responsibilities. And that part was pretty tough, being places on time and being a good example all the time. But we got through it okay. And eventually I figured out my real job isn't to see if they can tie knots or build a stretcher or learn the Morse code. It was when they go out the door at 18, are they ready for the world that you and I as adults are in? Do they have the ethics, the morals, the ambition, all those things that it takes to survive in this world? If you don't have them, you may not have a very good life. If you have all those things that you learn through scouting, that's pretty hard to mess it up. I mean, you're prepared, you're an experienced leader, you know how to get things done and how to work with people, which is really important. So if I did that part, that's what I'm the most happiest about, is if these boys, and you can look around you and see all the successes. Every one of these guys has just turned out terrific. So that is the thing I think I'll probably take with me for the rest of my life, is having the privilege and honor of sometimes manhandling or dealing with your sons. And I probably bawled them out a few times. So we got through it. And they taught me so much. It humbles me to have been able to be here with them. And it never would have happened if it hadn't been for my wife, Fran, because she courageously record keeping, accounting, all that paperwork stuff that's kind of in the back that you don't see, but she contributed as much or more than I ever did. So she still probably has records of you guys that are in your 30s and 40s. I would be surprised. So I have most of the paperwork, rosters, and that sort of thing going back to 1983 anyway. So if anybody, and I'll be handing that over to somebody in the troop to keep it going. And that's our history. This trophy case always brings back great memories. Our first couple of years with the troop, we went to camporees, but nothing much happened. We were kind of spectators, and we tried a few things, and we probably got 1 or 2 third places in something, and that was about it. Until one day the scouts said, we're kind of sick of not winning something. And I said, well, you got to work a little harder. So we started training and practicing 2 to 3 months ahead of camporee. Camporee, if you don't know, is a huge event within a district, sometimes a council if the district's smaller, and troops from all over come, and there's usually 10 competitive events for the boys to get into, and it's all the various fields of scoutcraft. So first aid, signaling, knot tying, cooking, fire building, and it's scored. They have people there to score it. And so there's always a first, second, third place in each of those 10 events. So that's like 30-something different events, and we get one or two. And boy, the guys buckled down and they went to work, and we started winning some more stuff. And then we started winning the best troop overall.
12 years in a row.
Which is, 11, 12 years in a row, we were the best troop in the world.
The SEAL Team 6 Scout Troop.
Pretty intense, and I believe that I never got involved with the scoring, but I think it's something in the neighborhood of 2,000 points overall available. So if you do all those things, you could earn as much as 2,000 points. And we lost one year, and the guys took it okay, and I had to see how bad we got whooped, and we got beat by 11 points. So instead of sulking that stuff, they said, what can we do next year to, so that doesn't happen again? And we're right back up on top again. So I didn't have to do a whole lot to whip them into shape. It came from them. And once they got the taste of winning and competing and all that stuff, it just kept up. So anyway, I'll cut it short. I'm sure some people like to get home. Again, it's just such an honor to have this many close friends in a room. Some of you I haven't seen in years. You're just as close a friend to me tonight as you were then. Some of those things just don't go away. So it's been a privilege and an honor to have your sons, and thank you for sharing them with me. I've had a lot of kids. I went through all the rosters and came up with right in the neighborhood of 1,000 scouts passing through this troop from the beginning, my beginning to the end. So hopefully we had an influence on all those guys. And so hopefully I get a chance to speak with you a little bit more as to move around.
That. Well, first of all, I didn't get to say hi to you yet tonight. So, hello. So I'll make this really short. First thing is, I have nothing to do with planning. I'm basically a guest here tonight, so I'd like to thank Kent, Robin, and anybody else out here that had an integral part in contacting all these old faces, old names, and getting everybody to show up. So thank you to the Johnsons and whoever else. So, as we all know, we're here for one reason. It's not a funeral tonight. It's for this amazing guy that I have the privilege of calling Dad, Andy as well, and Scott, who didn't make it. He got sick and couldn't drive in from Arizona. But he was our dad, but he was everybody else's dad too. So we had to get used to sharing, because as much time and attention as he gave the three of us over the years, I guarantee you he devoted as much or more of his personal time, family time, and every other waking moment he had available, even after we were long gone. Like, I've been gone for 25 years. He's still here. So my dad has a deep sense of service to others. And if I were a quarter of what he is, I would be doing good. I'm not even at that point yet, but he is a selfless person that has given, and I'll include my mom too, because she's, like we heard already, she's right there with him. She's the one, come on, Bill, get going. You're supposed to be at the church 20 minutes ago. Everybody's waiting, right? Everybody here experienced that. Where's Mr. Martin, right? Okay. So it's not because he overslept. It's not because he forgot. It's because he's running around getting all this stuff together for your guys, the kids and parents, experience. To go out to camp, to have a good time, to be learning something new, to be enjoying yourselves, and to come back safely home to your lives and whatever. So the amount of dedication and time is immeasurable. I'm sure Jerry Matthews told you it's only 1 hour a week, right? Yeah. Just 1 hour a week is all it is to be a scoutmaster. Monday nights, 1 hour, and an occasional weekend, right? Not the case. So he's given the majority of his life to this, A, this organization, and B, this troop and its members. And for everybody that's in here, who's an Eagle? Raise your hand. Okay. So like you just said, for every Eagle that's here, you you guys can attest that he has touched your life in a positive way, one way or another, whether he kicked you in the butt to get you to get your Eagle done before you turned 18, to calling you to get up and let's go check out this Eagle project, and I'm going to fly in the helicopter over and take pictures from above and all that stuff, right? For every one of you that's here, there's probably, whatever the calculation is, 10 or 12 or 15 kids that they didn't make Eagle, but he made a huge impact on their lives for the better.
Yeah.
And I couldn't begin to list how many people I've heard on the phone talking, calling for him that needed like some significant guidance and help in their lives, not only in their scouting career, but long after, calling for advice, calling to see how Mr. Carter is, because they had that attachment and that relationship with him, that he's a very unique person that's provided that relationship to so many young people. So.
And the best brother-in-law ever.
And the best brother-in-law ever, Kelly. So, with that being said, everybody who is an Eagle, before I conclude and we all clap, have all the Eagles come up here. We're going to do a group picture. And I'd like to thank again everybody who came tonight to make this night wonderful, and we appreciate you very much. Everybody